SPY coming back down again a little bit now. Get up to the pivot point. Couldn't quite get through it. Coming back down toward the VWAP. Just inside yesterday's trading range. Again, I still took Starbucks short, which bounced up. Starting to pull back down again now. Want to go outside?
Time supplier, exclusive supplier of MEMS oscillators for Apple's in-house modem. Set for robust growth in coming years driven by new orders. SITEM, SITN. On DOC, you can talk up some positive comments out there by city on the name DOCE. DocuSign.
Nope. No more. No more. Did you eat your chicken? Did you eat your num-nums?
Members on this volume downtick in CCRN. Another very negative article out there. Report from an M&A blog on CCRN.
All right, see if we have any questions here. It's about 11:30. Market's starting to come pull back in a little bit here now. But just really, really choppy. Did get move up here through the VWAP, right up to the pivot point, and then it's just bouncing off of that, trying to move back up to it again right now. Again, the only thing I'm in right now is Starbucks. I'm still in Starbucks short. Pulling back down below the VWAP again now.
Seen some volume in the markets. Comments out by Trump regarding tariffs on Mexico being posted in the news desk. Saying after speaking with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico, I have agreed that Mexico will not be required to pay tariffs on anything that falls under the USMCA agreement. This is comments out by Trump in regards to tariffs on Mexico.
So now Mexico is not going to be paying any tariffs on anything that falls under the USMCA agreement. The agreement is until April 2nd, according to the administration. And so basically, there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's not going to be put tariffs on and coming in from Mexico. The cutouts on what you don't pay tariffs on, they keep adjusting this back and forth and things. So it's really hard to get a handle on this at all. Caused a little bit of a spike in the market there, but Again, very news and rumor driven market right now. Just I guess it's been doing this for a while, but it's the news. It's news and rumors that are driving the market. GRR pulling back still off of that short report out of Bear Cave. Market coming in here now, right back down to the VWAP again. Starbucks reversing back down again. Again, that's the only thing I'm in right now is Starbucks, except for the overnights we've got. I'll watch my Starbucks position here. SPY coming back down below the VWAP right now. Market getting weak again. And the market's coming back down again now after moving up to the pivot point. SPY's again still trying to get back down to the 200-day moving average. This is the daily chart. You know, we have to keep it in perspective of where we are. Again, almost to the 200 on Tuesday, almost to the 200 yesterday, close to the 200 today. Basically, we're just putting in lows right around that area right there. And now we're coming back down again after popping back up into the middle of this gap. This is the election gap. Mostly, you know, rumors and stuff driving the news and rumors driving the market right now. Get a little bit of a pop in the market when the tariff adjustment to Mexico was mentioned, and now the market's just selling right off again. SPY below the VWAP, heading down here. And SPY sliding along the VWAP here. Again, SPY just get below the VWAP, and now it's just riding sideways here. Choppy market. I can't do any SPY super system trades off of this right now. Same thing with the Qs. IWM slightly above the VWAP here. SPY keeps threatening to try to get down to the 200-day moving average. Hasn't got there yet. Starbucks got back down below the VWAP again. Still just kind of drifting down. Gorilla Technology still moving down here. Again, I know this. We have a debit spread on this thing for March 21st. But this is kind of an ugly drop down today off of this news report from Bear Cave, and I think somebody else chimed in too. Probably Andrew left, I imagine. YouTube. Hello, human science work. I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to tell me there. SPY coming in now pretty steady. Broke below the VWAP here. We do have a SPY super system setup right here, if you dare trade it. It's a pretty decent setup right here for sure. Yeah, decent SPY super system setup. It's dropping pretty nicely here right now. SPY still coming in. Again, good SPY super system setup right there. Fibonacci on it. Yeah, this was your Fibonacci reversal right there. So nice setup on this one. Again, I'm very hesitant to trade these things today, but that's a nice setup right there. So coming in pretty hard on the SPY. Again, I still got a little ways to go to the 200, 571.62. Still got a ways to the downside. All right, let's check for any more questions here. SPY's still coming in. See how Starbucks is doing. Yeah, Starbucks is coming down nicely here. Ali says he thinks he takes out the low of the day. I would not be surprised. Sell target on Oxy. Yeah, I don't know yet on Oxy. It's coming in, but it's still trading at 45.28. I'm going to give it a little bit of time here. It's not cooperating very well right now. It's only 28 cents in the money on the call side. We need to get this thing to move one way or the other, so I don't have a sell order in it yet. SPY still coming in. Yeah, there's a nice SPY super system trade right there off this VWAP break. Low of the day is SPY 573.45. 573.45. Trader, am I at root long? I am. I took some calls in it yesterday when it poked above that 142.54. I'm still in it. I don't have calls. I have straight stock. I just bought shares so I can hold on to it if without worrying about any time decay on it.
On SEDG, form foreign seller purchase by the director, purchasing 30,000 at 13.70 for a total of 411,000. That's on SEDG.
Tesla set up as a short here, coming back off the VWAP. Get room down to about 253 on Tesla. SPY is still coming in. S&P 500 SPY coming in. Tesla coming in as well. SPY trying to bounce a little bit here. Still in Starbucks lows, short. The short Tesla, I'm going to wait to see if it bounces. It's kind of far away from the 15 and the VWAP here.
On GE and VO to delay issuance of fourth quarter and full year 2024 earnings.
Everything trying to bounce a little bit right now. SPY trying to. I'm expecting the SPY to get to the 200-day moving average, not necessarily today, but it's likely to test it. It's not that they don't usually bounce. It doesn't usually bounce like off of close to the 200. Usually it'll go down to it. It'll keep trying to do it when it finally does. This is an example of what I'm talking about. This is back a ways. This 200. This is back in. This is November here. This is October. See how it came down? It didn't quite touch the 200. Like 3 days in a row, we had a beautiful rally up here. And then it came right back down, and then it did finally break through the 200, and then finally came back up through it again. That's usually what happens. But you don't have any idea what the time frame is going to be that's going to occur. SPY's still coming in. Everything's selling, pretty much everything's selling off here right now. Yesterday's low in the SPY 573.08. Very, very close to that right now. There's likely to be a little bit of support right there. Pretty sustained selling here right now for about 7 candles in a row. Let's buy a little bit of a
Remember taking a peek at that GDP now model. Previous was at minus 2.8%. Following today's data, they upped it to minus 2.4%.
it's a GDP forecast for the first quarter by Atlanta Fed. They had it down to 2.8% negative. They raised it up today 2.4% negative. Still pretty negative. It was 2.5% positive a few weeks ago.
FMC form for insider purchase by the director, purchasing 60,000 shares at 37.331 for a total of 223,000. That's on FMC insider purchase.
Buy with the little green candle here. Q's also. Starbucks still coming in. I'm going to take the profits in Starbucks pretty soon here. I took profits in Starbucks, just took profits in Starbucks. Okay, so I'm out of the Starbucks trade. Could keep going down, but again, I'm out of it. The market's is too jumpy here. SPY's still selling off. Tesla seems like a good short, still selling off here. I wouldn't be looking for too many longs at the moment. See what the market does. Again, took profits in Starbucks. Joe, you took the 20% on Starbucks on the retest of that VWAP. Nice job. Dimitri, you got a current week strangle at M, fits the parameters, but 2 days. You know, you can go out next week. You know, you can go out to next week. You're going to pay more for the strangles and straddles when you go out to next week. And you're looking for the thing to move. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't take next week's till tomorrow, but let me look at it, Macy's. It's right in the middle of the day's candle, by the way. So be careful. I mean, you had a low in Macy's at 1260, a high of 1363. It's at 1314. It's right in the middle of the candle right now. I personally prefer to take it near the top and near the bottom. Now, the middle can work okay if you get enough room to the upside or the downside to give yourself a profit. But you usually don't have as much glide room to the upside or the downside when you take it in the middle. Tesla coming in again here now. I like Tesla short. I took my profits in Starbucks. Had to wait a while as it bounced. The SPY is getting very close to the 200-day moving average here. So just be very careful. There's likely to be some support there. Simon, you made $6.40 on the SPX puts following the SPY trade. Good job. Very nice. T2104, very bearish. Still very bearish. It's coming down really hard. It has been coming down really hard since about 11:40. So the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's been coming in really steep. So we'll see what happens here. SPY may flush, but I don't know. We'll see. Again, Tesla's still a nice short. SPY trying to find support as it gets closer and closer to 200-day moving average. It's the third day in a row we've come down to very, very close to it. So you see the daily chart on the SPY. This is a 200 right there, the purple line. See this? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Personally, I'd like to see it test it, get through it, and decide one way or the other. This moves up and down. It's trying to get to it, not quite getting to it. Is very difficult to trade because you expect that eventually it's going to get back down there, but you don't know how far up it's going to bounce before it does. Netflix dumping. Yeah, I saw that, Ollie. I saw that was selling off. It went below the 50-day moving average. Tesla's still getting a little choppy here. Again, I'm out of Starbucks. Turned out to be a decent short. I had to wait on it though. Joe from the Discord room took it on the took it off the breakdown below the VWAP right here. That was the perfect entry for it. GRRR kind of flattening out a little bit here after that. Down on news. Wheel stock's not doing much here today. Oxy down here to about 45.14. ANF not doing too much either. It is dropping down a little bit. 84.11. We got about $2 in the put side of that right now. We're in the money about $2 on it. CLS also coming back here now, 83.84. Off of the 87 put we've got. So decent amount of money in that put as well. Just need to get it to continue to move. Oops. SPY. Still coming down. Couple little green candle in there, but not much. Again, Tesla as well, still coming in here. Dan says it looks like a dog taking a walk. They just can't find the right spot. T2104 still coming in. It just keeps putting in low after low after low. Here's the T2104. Pretty big flush here. Now I noticed the candles went from pink to red, which means the Bollinger Bands are starting to flatten a little bit. It just means that when we don't have a distinct compression break that we had before. Tesla bouncing now. T2104 also bouncing a little bit, which means the SPY is probably bouncing a little bit right here. You just see how many green candles we get and how big they are. We get three stacked green candles or so, then we probably are getting a little bit of reversal. We didn't get to the 200-day moving average. Get close again, but we didn't get there. And again, yesterday's low was 573.08. Tuesday's low was 572.25, and today we hit 572.53. So it's between, our low today was between yesterday's low and Tuesday's low. Just don't know how much of a bounce we're going to get. You know, we got a big bounce yesterday, and the market. If you look what happened, what happened yesterday, here's where we opened, and we pulled all the way down here, and then we rallied all the way back up here. Almost right up to the top of that, this gap. This comes from the election gap right here. About 12:22. I'm gonna get lunch pretty soon here. Again, I'm out of Starbucks. I took profits in Starbucks. So like Tesla short, it's bounced a little bit. We'll see what happens. Coin down about 1% right now. Netflix getting hit pretty hard, down about 5%. Marvel just putting in a doji. It bounced off of that low that it put in off of earnings. It's right in the middle of the range right now. GRRR still coming in off of news. Market getting into that no man's land now. Don't know what's going to happen. If we're going to push down to the 200 now or bounce back up like we have done the last couple of times we've approached the 200. We bounced on Tuesday. We bounced on Wednesday. Let's see what happens today. Again, we still got that 200 below. Now they're going to hold your Starbucks short. Yeah, I mean I have no problem with that. That's a nice setup. Shooting for 104. It's actually got room down to the 50-day moving average. I don't think there's any other. Yeah, the 102.50 is what I've got for the next support level. 102.50. Trading at 106 right now, so you got a lot of room. And you do have the 50-day between there, the two levels. 150 is around 103.34. SPY coming back again now. Tesla starting to pull back again. Again, I'm out of Starbucks. Ali's still in it, which is a good trade to stay in it. I mean, this is a really good short. It's on a big bull flag, but it's a nice short. This is a nice short setup. Ali, 5-minute, 8 exponential moving average rejection on the SPY on the 5-minute. Yep, right at the 8 and then bounced it right back off. This you see how when I touched the 15, it actually touched the 8 is fairly close to that, so right off of that as well. T2104, getting kind of headsy and getting wicky and taily here now. See the tail here, big wick here, big tail here. So we're getting we're losing the real push to the downside on volume, cumulative volume. Now we're getting just a little bit more chop. See how long term that lasts. Take a look at the Starbucks. A lot of put flow on the 104 puts. Thanks, Ali. Yeah, it definitely is. a short for sure. To trade a minus, am I still on root long? I am. I'm still holding root. Coming in pretty hard today. Again, I've just got shares on this. I don't have any options, so I can just I can watch this pattern right here. The pattern in root is really pretty much a compression here. Tried to break out yesterday, so I jumped on it early. Didn't take very much. Just took some shares, and then we'll see what happens. Again, I've still got an 8 sloping up. I still got a 15 sloping up. I'll wait and see what it does. Tesla now with a pullback. Market's probably pulling back as well. Yep, goes the market now. We're heading back down toward the 200 here now. Let's see if we get to it. Very close to it right now. Very close to it. 571.62. 571.62. I know I'm emphasizing this a lot, but this is a major support level in the market. And there's going to be algos and everything that are aware of all this 200-day moving average, and so if it gets to that 571, 62, if I'm in any shorts and the market gets there, as soon as I see any indication of a bounce, I'm out of the shorts. Yeah, a little bit of a bounce in SPY before we got there. If it bounces here and didn't touch it, this will be the third day in a row that we've got near it and then got down to it. I'd really like to see it get down and just get through this thing and then either keep going or bounce. This coming down, getting near is just it's tough because the market's, you still got to be short. There's no indication of any bounce that's going to last. Gets through the 200 and then bounce up through it and closes above it. That's a different story. Again, 571.62, less than $1 to the downside now. Again, SPY got close to it, didn't quite make it. Q's been below the 200 now for a bit. The ANF straddled almost at break even. Yeah, it had a flush candle, then it bounced right back up again, right there. Probably put a sell on it on this afternoon. SPY just kind of teasing us with the 200-day moving average. Suzanne, if it goes below the 200? What is that telling us? Well, it's just what tells us is it's a major support level, and if it get breached, if it closes below the 200-day moving average, that's a sign of some bearishness. If it goes through it, bounces above it, and closes above the 200, that's a likely support level for us, at least a bounce in the near future here, or next couple of days. We have a jobs report in the morning, so that's going to have an impact as well. But the 200 is really a critical level on the SPY. And again, we haven't been down there since about that last November. And touching it and bouncing off it today would be bullish. Breaking through it and closing below it would be bearish.
On L, U, and R, seeing a volume downtick. As we've been mentioning, to follow the stream on L, U, and R, which is posted in the news desk. We are seeing volume downtick in L, U, and R.
Lunar selling off LUNR. Don't know why, but there's some news on it. Big drop in Lunar. It's been fairly bearish for a while now anyway. Rocket Lab coming in as well. Not like Lunar though. Lunar really getting pounded here. Tesla just still bearish, just kind of putting in mixed candles right now. Similar to the SPY. SPY just teasing us with the 200.
On the L, U, and R numbers, as we mentioned on that live stream, they had lost a radio signal, but they are saying that the engine is still running.
SPY still threatening to go down to the 200-day moving average. Be careful putting any, you don't want to be putting any shorts on right here. You want to wait now to see, because you don't have a lot of downside in anything. If you're in them, it's okay, but if you're not in them, don't be thinking about starting shorts here. It's way too close to the 200-day moving average. Again, 571.62. I keep telling making sure you know the 200-day moving average. Now, average is not a moving average is not a point on the chart. It's an area. 10-20 cents each side would still be considered the 200-day moving average. T20 104 is heading back down again. Based on this price action, I'd be very surprised if we don't get to the 200 today. Because I've been surprised many times by the market. Actually, I'm going to take lunch, but again, this is kind of a critical point in this market right now. Starbucks still moving down. Abercrombie. Take a look at Abercrombie. Abercrombie at 358 right now. I was going to put an order in on 425 on it, just to have something working. In case we get a flush. Market just getting really choppy here as it approaches the 200. I couldn't quite make it. Just keeps teasing down there, so we'll see what happens. I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna get something to eat. Market's just trying to starve me, I think. I'm in root shares. I am, Ali. Yes. Simon says we should get DoorDash to deliver lunch to me so I don't have to leave the desk. I just dash to my kitchen. As I'm not going to do anything. I'm just curious to see what happens here. It's a big deal in the market for what we're going to do next. I'm not short the SPY, along the SPY or anything right now. I had Starbucks. I took profits in Starbucks. I've got some straddles on, and I've got root as a long, which is getting pounded today. But I don't have a lot of trades on. I have TMIS also, which is pulled back today, but actually holding up better than the market. It's actually got relative strength today. So I don't have a lot on here to worry about. But it's a key level, a very, very key level. And what happens here is going to make a big difference to. We're looking for a trend, either a trend to the downside or a reversal, so we can have some sort of a trend to the upside, so we can make some trades. And this garbage are going down near it, bouncing near it, bouncing near it, bouncing. You can't trade it. I mean, you can do day trades, but you can't do any swing trades. Starbucks still got me down. Yeah, Starbucks a good one, Ali, very good one. That was a nice call out today. Again, I took some profits on it, but it's still moving down pretty hard. It's a nice short. Dimitri, you have the impulse to sell your straddle and strangle puts at the moment before the bounce. Be careful here. We don't know we're going to get a bounce. And you're trading straddles and strangles. If they're deep in the money on the puts, that's one thing. If they're deep in the money in the puts and you don't want them to start to bounce, then you want to take profits there. I don't think I would. If you're in profits, I'd take profits. I don't think I would try to. I don't think I would try to get cute and try to leg out of those things. That's a good one, Cedric. I didn't know that. Cedric says there's a guy at a deli that deli near him was owned by a floor trader, former floor trader. There's a 200-day moving average special that kicks in when they're within $1 of it. No joke. Almost time for a sandwich, he says. Yeah. Maybe the deli guy is in there buying us SPY up to keep it from getting down to within $1. Raj G, this is on the YouTube. Do I do this live every day? I do. Yep, 5 days a week. Is it possible to move the yellow sticky from the chart? I can move it if you want to see the chart. I got to put it back though. Frank, you haven't been following too much on my straddles and strangles. Do I leg out when one side covers the total cost of the entire straddle and strangle and hold the other? It depends. It depends on the technicals on it. If I've got one side that's basically is break even on the whole straddle or strangle, if I think it's going to reverse, then I would consider it. But generally speaking, what I'm going to do is just take profits when it gets up there, because the thing is, when you're deep in the money on one side, then it's going to have to take a fairly big reversal to get it back, where the other side starts to go positive as well. So typically, I just like to close them out for profits. How do I manage it if it moves sideways and time decay eats at the position? Can't do anything about it. I can either take the loss or I can wait. I can give it time. The whole idea of these straddles and strangles is the stock has typically had a higher volume than expected. It has a bigger range than expected. We get in cheaper than the ATR, so I'll give it some time. And sideways is the thing that kills straddles and strangles, and they don't always work. I mean, that's the whole point. Nothing always works, but when they work, they can work really well, and we'll see what happens. Raj, do I day and swing trades, or trade, or just day trades? No, I do day trades and swing trades. We don't. The market right now is not really conducive for swing trades. I've got TMIS on, which got hit GRRR I actually took off yesterday. I left this on because some folks didn't get filled on it, but it's got beat down today on news. But this was a call debit spread from March 21st, which this is actually, as far as the posting is concerned, it's done for 225, but I left it up there. And I've got TMIS on right now, which is pulled back today, but it's still a bullish strategy. And I've got these Oxy and ANF straddles and strangles on right now. That's it. But I do a lot of swing trades when the market is trending. Last year we did lots and lots, hundreds of swing trades. Right now you can't. You have to be very selective. SPY 571.16, everybody. 571.16. We are under the 200-day moving average. First times this has happened since last November. According to Simon, I guess the sandwiches are back on. Go out and get my SMA 200 sandwich. Starbucks continuing down. Now this is a really important afternoon now on the SPY. We'll see how far down it goes. All right, so we're back below the 200 on the SPY, and it's really kind of important because now we have to try to find some other support levels, and that's going to be tricky. We're going to have to use. We don't have any major moving averages below here, obviously. I suppose you can put the 300 on some, but there's no major moving averages below the 200. So now we got to start looking for other support support levels. So the first thing I'll look at is the high volume candlesticks to see what I can find for some support and resistance levels. Next major one is 568.33. 568.33 on the SPY. That's it right there. 568.33. The next major high volume level. And if I look at the high volume candles right here, see the bottom of this candle, the bottom of this candle, the top and the bottom of this candle, the top of this candle. That's a pretty, and these are all high volume candles. That's a pretty high volume area right there. You notice the tops of these are above where the SPY is right now. So that's a decent support level right there. And you got to be leery about taking shorts right now, because this 200-day moving average, we're below it. We were below it. 571.62. See where we are right now. 571.85. We went through it and we just bounced right back above it. But we did touch it today. This is important. All right, so we hit the 200 and we bounced over it. Again, 571.62. Well, we're down below. We're right on the 200-day moving average here. So where we go here again, there's likely to be some buying here. Every trader in the world and every hedge fund in the world and every algo in the world knows where this 200-day moving average is on the SPY. And Starbucks still coming in. Beautiful call out on that one, Ali. Really nice. Keeps going down. Tesla selling off. The market is really weak. Now, below the 200-day moving average, it closed below the 200-day moving average is quite a bearish setup now. The market is getting extremely bearish. We've been flushing down here really pretty hard. So again, we're way below where we were earlier when we had that big flush by the Fed in middle of December. Right now we're down to price action somewhere at end of October, first part of November. SPY just bouncing back and forth above and below the 200. Okay, I'm going to get some lunch finally. I know we've hit the 200 now. That's a major thing. Every 6 years you get a discount to 200 SMA footlong. That's funny, Joe. Trimmed half a Starbucks. Very nice trade on that, Ali. Really nice trade. Very, very nice. See where we end the day. Will we end it above this 200 or below the 200 or right on the 200? Ends right on the 200. Nobody's going to know what to do. All right, I'm going to get my lunch. Let me switch over to the YouTube. I have to close down the YouTube feed here in a minute. Okay, yeah, thanks for all the questions on YouTube today. I appreciate it. All folks following us, we just kind of watched for the 200-day moving average. Yes, I do swing trades, and I have an alert service. I do swing trades, and I do day trades, and I'm in the room all day. I'm going to take some lunch today, but I'm in the room all day, and we'll see what the market does. But I appreciate all the questions. Raj, any questions on getting in the room or getting the alert service or getting the software? I'm going to go ahead and post a link in there right now first before I shut it down. That's the link. That's the link to my room and my alert service right there. I just popped in the YouTube. You also can purchase the software. This is the SPY Super System. Sometimes used to be called the Compass. We call it the SPY Super System now, which gives us indicators to let us know whether the institutions are buying, selling, or neutral. And you can see the red and yellow is bearish. You can see we've been bearish since back here. We had a little choppiness here, but then this has been a sell-off ever since. Trying to bounce a little bit right now. All right, so I'm going to grab some lunch. Be back in just a little bit. Thanks, everybody. Lots of good questions today. Lots of good call-outs, and I appreciate that. And again, we've just been kind of watching the market. I did make some money in Starbucks, and haven't done anything yet with the straddles and strangles. I did put a sell order in on ANF at 425. We'll see if it gets there. It's to the short side. It's got a lot of room to the downside. It's got a lot of room both ways because it had quite a big move yesterday. The low from yesterday is 79.77, so you can see that's quite a long ways away. and the high from yesterday was 87.71, 87.71. So today's high was 88.03, and the low is just pretty close to where we are right now. So we'll see where it goes. But a little bit more of a pullback on A&F, and we can take profits on it. Oxy trying to bounce a little bit here, right at 45. We don't want to. That's the place we don't want to see it, at 45. That's a straddle price, and it's just kind of moving sideways along that 45. So we need to get to see that thing to move. All right, SPY bouncing. Right, gonna get some lunch. Yeah, we'll be back in just a little bit. I think I need to make a quick run out. I'll be back.